Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to try and demystify the, crazy world of financial charts. We're pulling some ideas from the Simple Trading Book to break down technical analysis into really simple parts so you can start to understand the story the markets are telling. Okay, so let's dive right in. The big question at the heart of all this is, can something that seems so complex, like financial trading, actually be made simple? I mean, let's be real, a lot of people look at these charts and just see a wall of noise, right? And you know what? That's a totally fair feeling to have. You've got all the jargon, the numbers are flashing all over the place, and there are a million different opinions. It's easy to feel like you need some kind of advanced degree just to even start. It's super intimidating. But here's the thing. What if there was a way to just cut through all that noise? That's really the promise we're looking at today, a method that zeroes in on the basics, giving you a simple, clear way to understand what's actually happening with a price. So, how do we do that? Well, the main tool we're going to use to make trading simple is something called technical analysis. This is pretty much the foundation for everything we're going to talk about today. It's like the special glasses we're going to put on to see the market way more clearly. So, what is it exactly? Well, at its core, technical analysis is all about studying past market data. We're talking price and volume to spot patterns and make, an educated guess about where the price might be headed. Think of it like a weather forecaster. They use historical data to predict if it might rain tomorrow. It's all about probabilities, not crystal balls. And this is a really important point to get. You might have heard of fundamental analysis. That's where people dig into company earnings, the economy, all that stuff to ask why a price is moving. But technical analysis, it's totally different. It's laser focused on the chart and just asks, what is the price doing right now? And for this explainer, we're sticking squarely in the what camp. Okay, so if we're going to focus on the charts, we obviously have to learn how to read them, right? And the best way I can put it is this. Think of a chart as a story. It's written in its own unique language, and our job is to learn the vocabulary. So where do we start? Well, the most basic word in this entire language is something called the candlestick. Pretty much every single price chart you see out there is just built out of these little shapes, and each one tells a tiny but super important part of the story. Okay, so check this out. Every single one of these candlesticks, it doesn't matter if it represents a day, an hour, or even just 1 minute, it gives you 4 key pieces of info. You get the opening price, the highest price it hit, the lowest it went, and the closing price. It's actually kind of brilliant how this one little shape can show you the whole battle between the buyers and sellers during that time. All right, so once you can read the individual words, the candlesticks, the next step is to see how they come together to form sentences. And in the language of charts, these sentences are what we call trends. This is where you start to see the bigger picture. What's really going on? And here's the great part. There are really only 3 kinds of sentences the market writes. That's it. You've got an uptrend, a downtrend, and a sideways trend. For example, if you see the price making a series of higher highs and then higher lows, boom, you've just spotted an uptrend. The chart is telling you, plain as day, that buyers are in charge. And just like that, you've done your first piece of analysis. See? Not so scary. Okay, so let's recap. We've learned the basic word, which is the candlestick. We've learned the basic sentences, which are the trends. Now we can pull all of that together into one core idea, one guiding philosophy. And it's really all about just being a neutral observer of what's happening. And this quote, this one really sums up the whole idea of simplified technical analysis. The whole goal is to put aside what you think should happen or what some news article told you or your gut feelings. Instead, you just react to what you can actually see on the chart. Is it making higher highs? That's what you see. Is it bouncing around in a range? That's what you see. It's all about the data, not the drama. And that really brings us full circle. We started out maybe feeling a little overwhelmed, but now we have a handle on the basic language of the market. So now, the next time you look at a chart, I hope you don't just see a bunch of random squiggles. You're seeing the words and the sentences of a story being told. So the question to ask isn't, what does all this mean anymore? Now it's, what story are the charts actually telling you?